Hello, good morning. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Angel. Good morning,
Good morning.
Ernest. Um, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining. Good morning, Benga. I see you. Good morning, Adewumi. Who means iPhone? Joy FX. Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today again. All right. Um, it's already 6 minutes past 8 a.m. So it's a good time to start. We'd like to wait a few minutes for in case anyone is having issues with connectivity or audio and things like that. All right. Haven't waited long enough. It's a good place to start. Thank you very much, Chinedu Nosa. Good morning and thanks for joining us. All right. It's a great trading week as well, I believe. I want to believe we're doing very well today. Um, I welcome you all to our MMR. And if you're just joining us for the first time, uh, during these sessions, we get to look at what's going on in the market and also with a view that we'll be able to see what's going on the chart, pick if a few entries and trade ideas and even assets that we can watch for today and even for the rest of the week that we can add to our watch list. Don't forget, as a reminder, we still have our slingshot bonuses ongoing, where you have the opportunity to get up to 125% bonus added to your capital. This is designed to give your trading an extra boost so that you can reach your financial goals for this year even faster. All right. Without further ado, Let's get right to it. And this session holds every Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 a.m. So you get to meet with our analysts on a daily basis. And like I said, good morning, Obina. It's also with the hope that I like to also reiterate this. When you have listened long enough, you have followed the sessions long enough, you should be able to also come up with your own profitable strategies that would eventually give you an edge over the markets. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's start with forexfactory.com to see what we have going on there. I'm going to switch to Forex Factory right about now. Good morning, Kingsley. Good morning, see Raining Word. Forex Factory, okay. I have Forex Factory up now. And today, Tuesday, the 17th day of September. Sorry, allow me to mute. Okay, what do we have? Early part of today, not much in terms of economic events, but later today, 1:30 p.m., we have CPI data for the card. Okay, that's going to be very interesting. And then we also have retail sales data for the dollar as well. Okay, that's going to be interesting as well. Okay, so for the Canada CPI, we have inflation data from Canada, and you would agree with me, it's no longer news that everyone is trying really hard to tackle inflation globally. And the CPI data that we expect later today is an important economic indicator that is used to determine the rate of inflation. It's released on a regular basis by the major economies, and it gives a very timely glimpse or view to measure growth rates and levels of inflation. So a higher inflation rate means that your money buys less because everything costs more. Currently in Nigeria, I think is around about 34%. And you wonder why things are so expensive. So the CPI specifically looks at purchasing power and how fast the prices of goods and services are rising in an economy. And this can also be used to influence a nation's monetary policy, because if prices are rising, this can lead the central banks to begin to raise interest rates in order to contain or fight inflation. And for today, the CPI for Canada is expected to, according to forecast value, come out at 0%, from a previous value of 0.4%. All right. So what this means is that when it's released by 1:30 p.m., and if the actual result that we expect right here far exceeds this forecast of 0%, then this indicates an increase in inflationary pressures. And this would likely lead to a stronger Canadian dollar. You may see it becoming strengthened, and therefore we'll begin to see a decline for USD card, pounds card, and other card pairs of interest. Also, on the other hand, the Canadian dollar would also weaken if the CPI falls short of the expected value. If we get a negative value, that's what this would mean for this. And this would potentially lead to pairs like USD card, pounds card rising, which also reflects lower confidence in the strength of the Canadian economy. So that's for the CPI data. And also by the same 1:30 p.m., we're also going to have retail sales data for the dollar. also very important, used to track the month-to-month increase or decrease in consumer spending, retail. So we're also going to get that for the dollar. Again, actual greater than forecast would be supportive of the dollar. That's for retail sales now. And if it comes out weak, then it's going to be negative for the dollar. Already, the forecast is suggesting that it's going to decrease from 0.4 to 0.2, from 1 to minus 0.2. Okay, so these are the two events that will probably drive market for today. USD and Canadian dollar would be of focus. All right, so that's it for economic events, the fundamental events for today. So right about now, I'm going to switch to head over to MT4 to see what this translates to in terms of technical. All right, so just a minute while I do that. Heading right to MT4. Okay. All right. Okay, so the dollar index. Okay, so yesterday, coincidentally, I was on this forum, and then I was pointing out to us that as long as price stays, this is the dollar index now on the daily time frame. Now, one can easily use the dollar index, and I hope those of us who were trying to locate it on our chart were able to do that eventually. Okay, so I was highlighting this point for us, this level, and I mentioned that if price, as long as price stays below this critical support level at around 100.5, then we can expect further weakness for the dollar. Now, if you look back, I think it dates as far back as end of 2023 or early 2023. You see the date here, 2023, February 02. Okay, you see how that level supported price, the same 100.5. You see it, this level, the same level right here. And then here, price broke below the level, but it couldn't, we couldn't see it sustaining that level. Otherwise, we should have continued to get lower highs and lower low. But almost immediately, price closed back above 100.5 level. Let me do this to further highlight that level. So we got it here. We got it here. We got it right here. And then here, this is typical of a fake out right here. So typical of a fake out. And like I've mentioned severally, anytime we get this kind of fake out, usually it triggers an aggressive move in the opposite direction. So we got that right here. And then price went all the way aggressively. And eventually price came right back to that same 100.5. This was when? End of 2023. Say beginning of 2023, end of 2023. Price came back to the same 100.5 level. And again, from that point, we got another rally towards that high. And currently, price is now back and even trading below that level. So, two things right here. From this point now, from this level, price may just continue to push lower from there. And for today, we have retail sales data for the dollar that would also impact price right here. And then tomorrow, we have federal funds rate, and that's going to be really huge and a great determinant of where dollar goes from here. I won't be surprised if we don't get much of direction until federal funds rate tomorrow, Wednesday. All right, so as it is right now, as long as price stays below 100.5, then we may expect a further push to the next support at around 99.6 that I've highlighted right here. Okay, so but that's the first scenario. And number two, in the event that we do get a close back above 100.5, then that would be bullish for the dollar. Like I pointed out, this is technical analysis. We're using the information from the past to predict the present and even the future where price goes from here. And I've highlighted how significant this level is for the dollar index. Okay, so that's it. That's what I'll be looking out for as far as the dollar is concerned. Now, I do this because once you understand the direction of the dollar index itself, one can now easily relate this to the major pairs with USD as one of the currencies. All right, so that's it for the dollar index, the expectation that I have. All right, having said that, now moving on to euro dollar, euro USD, okay, which is an inverse of the dollar. And what do we have here? Let's see. All the while, dollar was bearish towards that critical support level that I highlighted to us. We can see how much the euro dollar has rallied. We can see this fantastic structure there for higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, very consistent, higher highs and higher lows, up until this high at around 1.12. Okay, so when price tested 1.12 level, Euro USD, of course, very, very interesting. And it has quite played out nicely according to expectation. And then when price got to that high, of course, it was quickly rejected and price kind of corrected. And then we got a retest right here. And this was, this should be NFP this month. September 6th. Yeah, that's correct. The first Friday this month. This happened as a result of NFP. Now, you can see the whole of this place left behind this long upper week. And upper weeks or lower weeks like this often act as magnets for price. So I was actually expecting price to fill this level because of this upper week that we have here. And interestingly, we got that right here. Price retesting this. Sorry, there's a bar that is obstructing my view. Okay. So price came back to somewhere around this 1.1140 area to fill the whole of this imbalance that was created as a result of NFP. All right. And currently, this is the daily time frame now. From this level now, we are beginning to see this bearish candle. We are beginning to see this bearish candle. Now, to what extent will this go? This will largely will be dependent on what the dollar does from the current levels. This will be highly dependent on what the dollar does from the current levels. If this is the daily time frame now, if eventually at the end of today we get a convincing bearish candle from this resistance level, then I am going to expect further push to the downside for the euro dollar. I'm going to expect further decline for the euro dollar. And especially if it now closes below this critical support level now at 1.11, if it now closes below that level, then I can expect continue to expect further decline for the euro dollar. And this is a pair that I'll be watching really closely to see how much of this I can take advantage of. It's going to create a fantastic and massive opportunity. And if we look back, we also have a fake out right here. We also have a fake out right here. We got a fake out. Price closed above this level. If you look back, you will see how significant that level has also been for euro dollar. You see it here. Price got to that level, and then we got that aggressive sell-off. The same thing happened here. The same thing happened there, and then we got that aggressive sell-off. So if we get a similar setup at the current level, you see it, we've seen that fake out here, and then we're beginning to see lower highs and lower lows. So what will be a trigger for me would be if we eventually get a reversal pattern at the end of today. This is the daily time frame, like I said. So while price is at resistance, we can, of course, look for opportunities to sell. You can go to a much lower time frame to do that. Now we're on 30 minutes. We're on 30 minutes right about now. And then we have this consolidation right here. Have this consolidation. Price is stuck between this area. All right. So for me to go bearish here, I need to see a close below this, what has now formed a consolidation. I need to see a close below it, or a push back to the top of the consolidation, and then I take my sell from there. If I want to take advantage of price being at resistance for a sell, that's what I'll be doing. So two things here. This is 30 minutes time frame now to look for instant opportunities. Number one, we see price push back to this top of this consolidation, the top of this consolidation, and then I take a sell from there. Or I see price break below that low level of the consolidation. That's it for euro dollar. I see raining word. Can today's news affect the dollar index? Absolutely. We have a news for USD at 130, so it's going to affect it. Felix, how can I do instant execution immediately the news is released? Okay, it's very simple. Once the news is released, exactly 1:30, so it means that before 1:30 p.m., you're already on your phone or on your laptop. And then as soon as the news is released, you confirm the outcome, which is what will guide you. You need information whether it is greater than forecast or less than forecast for you to make a decision. As soon as you confirm that, and you go straight to your chart, and then you click the correct action for that outcome, whether buy or sell. Instant execution. USD JPY Abiola. Yes, I hope we get to that. I think I have it as one of the pairs here that I want to touch on. All right, so that's it for euro dollar. Moving on to pounds dollar, of course, very similar to euro dollar. And then the critical level here for me too would be this 1.32. Now, again, if we, at the end of today, we're on the daily time frame for the pounds dollar. Again, I like to start from the daily time frame to understand the overall direction of price, and then I can now tune down to a much lower time frame for entry opportunities. That would do two things. Number one, give me a good entry opportunity, and number two, I also have a tight stop loss. All right, so this is the daily time frame for the pounds dollar. And like I said, if we get now this level here, because price is now above it, it is currently acting as support. Because price is now above that level, it's currently acting as support. If you look back, you will see how significant that level is for pounds dollar. So at the end of today, if we get a reversal pattern right here. If price eventually gives us a bearish candle that closes below this 1.32 level, then we can also expect this to push lower, to push further down. Now, again, because we have USD as one of the currencies here, this would also be largely dependent on what the dollar does from here, from the current level, like I highlighted for us for the dollar index. All right, that's for pounds USD. AUD USD, also similar. Even NZD USD, NZD USD, AUD USD, you notice that they have very similar pattern, just like Euro USD and Pound USD. So for NZD USD, this here too, I'll also be treating this as a fake out as well. If you look back again, you will see this is around 0.62 here, around 0.62. Now, if you look back, you will see plenty attempts to go above the 0.62 level. You see many attempts to see it here and even here. Here, it was support for price. Okay. And this is as far back as beginning of 2024, far back as beginning of 2024. You see it. So that 0.62 level has been very significant. And currently, if you check what happened here, again, this is daily time frame. Price closed above the 0.62 level, and then almost immediately we got a close back below it. So the whole of this place, I'm treating this as a fake out, and then price is currently retesting 0.62. So again, similar to what was highlighted for euro dollar, pounds dollar, if at the end of today we also get a reversal at the current level, this here would be acting as resistance. That 0.62 level. Okay, so don't forget, we have high impact news coming out later today and then for tomorrow. Okay, how about Euro card? How about Euro card? Okay, most of these pairs will give us fantastic trade opportunities eventually. Yeah, I also touched on Euro pounds. Let's see what we have. Okay, I remember highlighting this consolidation for us. You see, price has been stuck within this range between resistance and support for a very long time. For a very long time. Okay, and then let me head back to daily. All right, and then from yesterday's candle, we got a break below this trend line support. We got a break below it. This candle now, this red candle, you can see it closed below that support level. Before this candle, you can see that all of the previous candles before the red candle closed above the trend line, closed above the trend line. All right. So now that we have this close below the trend line, it would mean that this trend line will now be acting as resistance for price, will now be acting as resistance for price until we get a close back above it. So let's head over to a lower time frame to see what it looks like. Okay. What do we have? We also have this. Okay. So two things here that I'll be looking out for are a push back to the trend line support, which is now acting as resistance for me to look for sell opportunities, or a break below the low that was formed here. If I get a bearish close below this level, that would also be an entry trigger to sell. That would also be an entry trigger to take sell from there. All right. So pounds JPY, USD JPY, very similar. I also touched on this. We had this session yesterday, USD JPY. All right. So what do we have? Okay. As a result of the dollar weakness, we can see this has also been bearish from that high. This is the daily time frame now. This has also been bearish. Okay. So it has now found support at the current level. You see it. If you look back, you see the current level acting as support for price. We have it here. See it. We have here, and we also have resistance right there. You see it at the current level. Okay. So what that would mean is that at this current level now, price is at support. Price is at support. And what we do is to buy at support. However, because this is currently a bearish move, you don't want to be trading against the direction, except you want to take advantage of the pullback, So, this is daily time frame. Let's see what this translates to on a much lower time frame. All right. So this is the support level that we pointed out on the daily time frame. I'm going to do a color change right there and increase the thickness. All right. Let's see. So at the current level now, for this to continue to push higher, it means that we need a strong USD. It will mean that we need a strong USD for that pair to continue to push to the upside. But if, however, what we get is, okay, I see this trend line here. All right. So we have this support level here, and then we have this trend line right here, which kind of turns this into a triangle. Okay, so number one, if we get a push, price is currently bullish, and if we get a push back to this trend line, which is acting as resistance, if we get a push back to this trend line, this is 30 minutes now, we get a push back to this trend line, that would be an opportunity to take sell from there. But if, on the other hand, we get a close below the support, we get it close below the support area, that would also trigger more push to the downside. That will also trigger more push to the downside. Again, this is largely dependent on what the dollar does from the current level. If it reclaims this 100.5 level as I highlighted earlier, then we can expect that to play out that way. All right. So this is USD JPY. Check pounds JPY, quite similar, also sitting at this support level, and price is beginning to push higher from that level. All right. Gold. Gold. Okay, what's happening on gold? All right. So for a very long time, about 3 weeks, we got this consolidation. We got this sideways movement. Price being stuck between this resistance at around 25.30 and then support around 24.75. Okay. So we have this. That's sideways movement. And then eventually, this is a very convincing close above that resistance. This green candle right here. This green candle right here is a very convincing close above the resistance, the high of that consolidation. And then when we got this bullish close above it, we also got a follow-through candle. The next candle also closes above the high of that previous green candle, this one right here. Now, price is currently pushing towards the 2600 resistance level. Price is pushing towards 2600 resistance level. So let's see what that translates to on a much lower time frame, 1 hour or even 30 minutes. All right, there is no denying this is aggressively bullish. There's no denying that. However, it is also now very close to this resistance at 2600. You see it's now very close to that resistance. And you see price is beginning to stop around that area. So this is what it looks like on 30 minutes. This is what it looks like on 30 minutes. Okay. So on this 30-minute time frame, trying to see what could act as an entry trigger for us here. Okay, so price is respecting this trend line. Very good. Okay. So two things here. Number one would be a push back to moving average. By the way, this is moving average 50. This is moving average 50. A 50 period moving average. All right. So two things I want to see here to take advantage of the bullish move, which is now also very close to resistance at 2600. So what I want to look out for this asset, for this commodity is number one, a push back to the 50 period moving average, which would mean that I take advantage of sell trades for the push down to the moving average. But again, that would be against the trend. On the daily time frame, we can see that it is aggressively bullish. Okay. But of course, we still expect a correction. We still expect it to pull back, even if the bullish move will continue. So number one, for me to trade this, I need to see a push back to the 50 period moving average to now create opportunity to buy from that point, which would also mean that because price is now at resistance, I can also sell at the current level. But again, like I said, that would be against the trend, except you are aggressive, except you're an aggressive trader. But the second view for me, or the second scenario, would be to get a close above this trend line, would be to get a close above this trend line on 30 minutes time frame. If we get that, then we can expect further push towards the 2600 level. That's how I am going to trade gold. That's how I'm going to trade gold. Yeah, so Japheth, you have your answer. Temitayo, right? Yeah. Thank you very much for joining, sir. You also got your answer for gold. All right. So what's happening with CAD JPY? Joel Bliss, I think you joined us a bit late because we already touched on pounds JPY. Olatunde, all right, thank you very much for that feedback. I see a lot of US 100. Okay. So what's happening with US 100? What's happening with US 100? I think we also touched on this yesterday, US 100. Let's see. Okay. Let me take this out, take this out, take this out as well. Take this out, take this out. Okay, even this one. All right. Again, this is 50 period moving average. That's what I like to use. So we see this trend, we see this move from this high to this low point. All right. And then if you look back, you see that level is also significant. All right. You see it here. And then you see it right here as well. Even here as resistance. Yeah, even here as resistance. And then when price closed above it, we started testing it as support. And then price has pushed much higher from that level. So recently, we also got a retest of that same level this week. So using the Fibonacci tool, I then drag from that high to this low. Now this is daily time frame. We'll still tune down to a much lower one for entry opportunities. So this is daily to understand the overall direction. All right. So we got it from this high, we got a push to this low, and then that retracement. Now, this is 61.8. This is a golden level on Fibo. This 61.8 level. All right. So I'm using this green line to highlight that level. And then the way you would also confirm that is to look back to see if it is an area of value. You see that? You see this right here? Even here as resistance, you see it? And then we see a sort of a lot of sideways movement from that point. And then even here as resistance. And currently, price is pushing towards that level. Now, for the past 3 or 4 days now, price is on that same spot. See, this is US 100. Price is on that same spot. All right. So let's take this to 30 minutes now to see what it looks like. Okay, so you see that spot for the past 3 days that we saw here. Sorry, hold on. Okay. capture it very well. Okay. Okay. So that's the move for 1, 2, 3, 4. For 4 days, price is almost on the same spot. So let's see what that means on 30 minutes. All right, this is what it looks like on the 30 minutes time frame. All of this. Okay. And again, this is the 61.8 level that we saw on daily, and then price is beginning to push towards that level. So this is still bullish towards 61.8. So all eyes will be at 61.8 to see what happens from there. If we get so this is bullish right now. This is bullish, like I said. Price came to this low, created this lower high, and then from lower high, ideally, we should have seen lower low. Now, this is what I mean. We have this move to the downside. We got a lower high, and then a lower low would have confirmed the downtrend. High, low, lower high, lower low would have confirmed or completed the downtrend to confirm that it is intact. But what do we have here? Let me highlight it. We got a low. We got a lower high, but we do not have a lower low. You see, we do not have a lower low. So price has now created a high. From this low, we have this high. So what we expect now is a higher high for price to go above this level. So this will be the level to watch now. Let me highlight it. So between here, that high and this low will be the level to watch. All right. So currently it is bullish, like I said, towards 61.8. It is bullish towards 61.8. So we're looking for buy trades. We're looking for buy trades. We're looking for buy trades. And then eventually, if we now get a close above the 61.8 level, that would be fantastic. And then we can expect further push to the upside for this index. Can expect further push to the upside. All right. Very fantastic assets to watch right there. US 100. Okay. Let me check the comments. Oh, I think you came late, Eniola. We touched on pounds USD already. What I see is Galaxy Tab S5e. You're welcome. It's your first time. That's fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Flavian. All right. Thank you very much for that feedback. Favor. Oil has been quite bearish. Okay, let's see. All right. What do we have on oil? Okay. So this is quite obvious here. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows. We created a lower low, created a lower high, came back to form double bottom right there. And then double bottom, of course, is a bullish reversal pattern. But guess what? High price couldn't sustain that bullish move. It stopped here. Ideally, it should have closed above this previous high, but we did not have that. We did not have that. So it stopped here, couldn't go above that level. And then that's a quick signal that there's no strength. And then we got that lower low level once again. And from that level, we also got a lower high. We also got a lower high, which is very fantastic. And then the downtrend is still very much intact. That's what it means. the downtrend is still very much intact. All right. So what does this mean? Let me take out all of these trend lines. Okay. Again, we have the 50-period moving average. You'll see it mostly on all my charts as a guide. And then this is also a fantastic fake out right here. I've highlighted multiple times that when we get fake out like this, usually it triggers an aggressive move in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's check the current levels now. Now here, this was the previous support level that was broken. See it? Even right here as well, and on and on and on and on, up until when price broke that level aggressively with this bearish candle. Okay. So what do we have? Let's see this trend here. Let me take out this so it doesn't confuse us. So I want to measure this recent trend from this level. Okay. Let me check if this gives us a full pullback from here. Okay, fantastic. So this move now, you can see from this high here to this low, it gave us a complete pullback because it got to 61.8. So I take this as a full pullback. All right. So this new trend now, this new trend. Okay, so this new trend is currently beginning to turn at 38.2 level, beginning to reverse at 38.2 level. So this is not a complete pullback. Sorry, this is not a complete pullback yet. So we may see price push to 61.8. We may see price push back to 61.8. But we also cannot neglect that level. What would further confirm that? So I'm using this horizontal line now to draw the 38.2 level. So what I'll be looking out for at this current level is if we get a close above 38.2, we get a close back above this resistance, then I would expect price to complete the pullback to 61.8 level, just like we saw on the, okay, let me quickly highlight it so it's clearer for us. Okay, so the downtrend started from here, started from this high. Price got to this high and then started creating lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so if you check this level here, you check this level. You check this level right here. Using Fibo to measure that level from this high to this low. You can see it did a full pullback to 61.8 at this point. All right, so the same Fibo, I now put it on the most recent trend that we see. I'm taking my time so we understand it. So I now put it on the most recent trend that we see. Now this is daily, on the most recent trend that we see from this high, which is A right here. You see it from A to B. Right here. All right. Okay. So price from this trend now is what I've measured from A to B. Now the pullback is supposed to get to at least between 50.0 or 61.8, but currently it stopped at 38.2. So for me, at this current level now, of course, price may just continue to push lower from there until we get a close above that resistance. So heading to 30 minutes time frame now. Right, heading to 30 minutes time frame, this is what it looks like. And you can see the 38.2 level highlighted with this green line, this horizontal line here, this one here, at price level 73.35 is beginning to act as resistance for price. You see it? Beginning to act as resistance for price. Price is beginning to push lower from that point. Okay, so how do I take advantage of this move? How do I take advantage of this move? That's the next question. If you're already in a sell, if you're already in a sell trade, that's fantastic. If you're already in a sell trade. If, however, you're looking to join the sell, you may now need to wait for price to break below this trend line. We now need to wait for price to break below the trend line. Or if you're an aggressive trader, you join right in for a sell. Right. Okay. Yeah, Damilola, you have your answer right there. And then Ben, you also have your answer right there. Godwin, it's exponential, right? It's exponential. Yeah, you see it, it's exponential. That's what I use. Okay. Ernest, no, you're not doing buy and sell at the same time. It will signal confusion if you do buy and sell at the same time. Can't one be certain where the market will go and place order there? Yes, everything we have done is to increase our certainty. This is for Ernest now. Everything we have done so far, from dollar index to euro dollar, pound dollar, AUD, NZD, oil, gold, and the rest of the instruments that we have touched on, is to increase the certainty. It is difficult to predict 100% where price will go. So we, as much as possible, try to increase the edge we have over the market with everything we have done so far in terms of technicals, in terms of fundamentals. So that's how we try to have an edge over the market with technicals and fundamentals as well. This is oil, Joseph. All right, thank you very much for that feedback, Damilola. Okay, so I guess this is a good place to leave it for today. We have quite a number of assets that we touched on that we can trade for today, and also add to our watch list to see how they play out for today and even for the rest of the week. Let's not forget, 1:30 p.m., we have CPI data for card. We also have retail sales data for the dollar. These are high impact news that we want to take advantage of as well. But you need to wait for the actual value before you trade. And again, don't forget, also as a reminder, in case you were not here when I mentioned it earlier, we also have our 125. You can get as high as 125% bonus currently to give you a more trading, to boost your trading capital and then increase your edge as well. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today again. Tomorrow is another day, and I look forward to us joining again. Thank you very much. I would wish all of us a happy trading day and week ahead. Thank you.